Okay, for those of you that watch me for the content, I sincerely apologize. I hardly ever upload. So, you know what? I'm just going to explain the primary reason why I have this channel, and it is because of the playlists that I have on my channel. So, if you're rather attentive, then today's your lucky day because I am going to go onto my channel and look at some of the playlists I've made over the years and explain them in a better format. That way, you can get a better explanation of what this channel is actually about. Because most of my content is literally just sports clips that I take off my PS5. It's very low effort, but the playlist I do put a lot of effort into, and I feel like most people that are on my channel don't even know that I have them, which is insane to me. So, because of that, you are in for a treat today. Here's my football essays photo. It's exactly how it sounds, and I've got 530 of those bastards. Same thing for hockey, except I've only got 205 of those. It'd help if there were more hockey channels that I could get into, but it feels like there just isn't. And then, you've got baseball essays, and, while there isn't quite as many football essays, the quality of baseball content on this channel is way better than there is for football content or anything else. And as for basketball essays, well, there's no shortage of basketball YouTubers on YouTube. It's just that most of them suck. So I only, you know, grab a bunch of basketball essays if they're for sure what I want out of a, basketball based YouTube channel, which, since most of them are drama farms anyways, means that you get much slimmer pickings. And then, you got my folder for Halo. Because, yes, I am big into video games in case, sports wasn't enough proof. I am also very much into video games as well. 209 videos for the Rockstar Games folder, which in and of itself is quite impressive considering that I'm pretty sure that there's only 5 different channels, and I got 209 of those 5 channels videos in there. Really goes to show that while, sure, I'll take quantity, I want quality. And then, for the Potterverse, I'm not a Harry Potter fan. What it is it's a collection of Harry Potter based videos that criticize the Potterverse. So, yeah, if you want some engagement, trick your audience. And then, there's the Star Wars file, which was only recently made. So, as I continue, making these folders, the Star Wars folder is going to get bigger and bigger with time. And then animation/cartoons essay was a break off from movie essays because this fucking folder is gigantic, 581 videos. And then prior to me breaking off the animation part of it, it was like over 800 videos on one folder. So I had to just break it off, otherwise it was just going to be too much. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. That's my favorite sitcom in the entire world, and I judge you differently if I know that you haven't watched it. And then the Dexterverse is, yeah, I mean, it's exactly how it sounds. It's a compilation of Dexter videos because that's my favorite drama in all of television. Yes, even more so than Breaking Bad and The Sopranos. And then you got your video game essays, which is, the original file before I broke off Star Wars, the Potterverse, Rockstar Games, and Halo. Like, it all derived from video game essays, and now that it's broken off, there's only 300 videos in this folder. And then, for TV essays, same thing. Like, I used to have all of the It's Always Sunny and Dexterverse and one other, the Gilliganverse, all into one folder, and it was over 500 videos, so I decided to break that off as well. And then, for movie essays, sure, I mean, I got 581 videos, but, that's still a shit ton, and I'm thinking that I could, do a little bit more hair splitting and make a new folder of something, though. Like, I'm not sure what I would break it into. And then that's my workout routine. Then you got the elaborate memes, which is a break off of the memes folder. And, well, since it's elaborate memes, it means that All memes that were longer than 60 seconds got put into this folder, and then the original memes folder, which is around here somewhere, is on its own. Then you got the Gilligan verse, which is Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, and Pluribus. But there aren't a whole lot of great Pluribus essays yet, so once that gives a little bit of time to breathe, I have a feeling that this folder's gonna just increase exponentially all over again. And then, of course, you got the licensed NCAA Football '06 soundtracks, as well as some of the band cues. It's a damn good playlist, and anytime I'm working out, I'll just put that on and feel the nostalgia. Fuel it towards a productive day. And then, of course, you got the politics folder, which it's kind of a mess. It's just all of the politics context I've watched over, God, 6, 7 years on this platform. So probably need to do a little bit of cleaning out my closet because my political opinions have changed drastically from 2019, let me tell you. Sports essays, it's exactly how it sounds. It used to be that I had all of the football, basketball, baseball, and hockey essays in there as two, but, considering that folder was over, like, nearing 1,000 videos, I decided, you know what, I need to break this off into specific sports, otherwise this folder's just going to become a fucking monster. And then Mass Effect, that is my favorite video game series of all time. So it's just a compilation of all the best videos on YouTube on Mass Effect put into one folder. The Raimiverse, which is a very specific Spider-Man folder where it's about the Sam Raimi trilogy of movies. Because, yeah, those were the first... that was my first exposure to superhero movies. And, all three of them are bangers. I don't give a shit if you think that Spider-Man 3 sucks. It's fucking awesome in my books. And then, of course, there's a folder for The Walking Dead, which is a combo of both the adaptation and the comics. So there's a bit of comic dubbing in there, too. It's a fascinating folder, and I love spending time on it, because The Walking Dead is my favorite zombie genre. I know, very unoriginal. And then History Essays is a 230 video folder on specific moments in history. It could derange from things that you would read out of a textbook all the way to just interesting stories that have been forgotten from time. And then Hell World, that's probably going to be a folder I delete because it just does not serve my needs anymore. Because, again, I'm a human being. I have evolved over the 7 years of life on this channel and of my personal life, of in which my personal life is derived from this channel. And, it's hard to explain, but I used to like Shoe on Head, but man, has she changed over the years to where she is an active embarrassment. So, yeah, you know what? Delete. It is actually embarrassing that bitch ever took up a minute of my fucking time. And then Checkmate Lincolnites is a ongoing film series by Atunche Films, debunking all of the most popular Confederate apologist talking points. It is a fascinating watch, and if you view it in one sitting, congratulations, because some of those videos are over an hour long. Like, it's a proper trilogy. Like, the runtime is ridiculous. And then Baseball Doesn't Exist is probably a folder that I'll end up merging with baseball essays now that I've finally separated sports essays from baseball essays. So, yeah, expect that folder to be merged in with baseball essays. Based Burger Craig is also a, derivation of my past, where I made a compilation of one of my favorite commentary channels, the Burger Craig. But, over time, he's evolved his channel to where he's more about lore and explanations. So, because of that, I just don't watch his stuff anymore, and he doesn't post as regularly as he used to. It's just a perfect example of two people growing apart. For the Love of Sport is another folder where I'll probably have to just start putting more stuff in it, because 457 videos, yeah, that's a lot, but most of these clips are just fun gameplay parts that make sports worth watching. Like when, a bat started flying around, I believe it was the Spurs basketball court, and Manu Ginobili just batted that shit out of thin air. Like, stuff like that. That would be for this folder. And, since I haven't touched it in several years, there's plenty of moments in sports where I just haven't been put into this folder, so I got to get to that. College fight songs, the rules are very simple. If you're an FBS program or a D1 basketball program with a popular fight song, you got put on here. There's no point in expanding it until we get more FCS teams making the jump to FBS. Steve Dangle meltdowns, I mean, that pretty much explains yourself. It's Steve Dangle throwing fits. The 31 videos where he threw the biggest fits. And then, that's a workout regiment thing, and best vids on YouTube are 308 of my favorite videos that don't fit into any of the previous folders. Sports music is a whole lot of licensed music, or even, just jingles from sports networks. And then, that's also a compilation of a old YouTuber that has since deleted his channel, so no point in sweating that one. And then here you've got, a folder for music where if it's, a pop hit, then I'll put it in here. Otherwise, no, it's not going in there. It'll most likely go into best music on YouTube or rock or Urinating Tree soundtrack. Like, it's very rare that you will put a song into pop hits as opposed to these three. And then, Urinating Tree soundtrack, any, sound bite that he's used over the years, come in here. And then, the rock folder was the first playlist I ever made, and I haven't touched it in so many years, but at the same time, how many rock tracks have come out in the 7 years since I've made this? In my opinion, very few. So if I were to revisit this folder, it genuinely would not be that big of a task. And then here's the piece de resistance, the memes folder. This is such a daunting task that I feel like I have to take you through this one at a time. But that's a video for another time. For now, my name is Trey McGathan, and I'll be seeing you soon.